There we go. Awesome. So today's agenda will include, it's on the next slide, and I'll walk you through it. Welcome and introductions, program descriptions, the photo exhibition, which is the part we are all here for, of course, the call to action, which the youth will tell us a little bit more about, resources, and a closeout. And just a huge thank you to all of you for being here. And so before we begin the presentation, we'll be talking, we'll have each of our members of our team say a few words. So on the next slide, you'll be able to see who we are, what our roles are, and sort of what we've been doing in the community. And so I would like you to first and foremost introduce you to some members of our team. And first, I would like to introduce Jamie Lederer, the Director of Community Health Youth Initiatives.
Jamie, you're on mute.
So many buttons to press. Here we go. Thank you. I'll say it all again. Thank you so much, Aisha, and thanks everyone for being here tonight. On behalf of Cambridge Health Alliance, I'm really happy to welcome the folks joining us, and I'm especially proud of the youth who are presenting tonight. As the Director of Community Health Youth Initiatives at CHA, which is part of our Community Health Improvement Department, we're also really lucky to have Aisha, who joined us in May as our youth coordinator and has led Photovoice this fall. So we're all in for a treat with tonight's showcase. At CHA, we are really invested in providing young people with opportunities that build upon their interest and engage with important and current topics concerning community and public health. And we are dedicated to working across the community and partnering with the city, with the schools, and other agencies. We define health in the broadest definition and know that having youth engaged in their community promotes community connections, civic engagement, and new leadership, which are important for both individual and community health. We're passionate and dedicated to civic engagement, and we know it is one of the foundations and pillars of good health and health equity. So this Photovoice project is a wonderful opportunity to build these skills and provide a unique opportunity for teens in Everett. I'd also like to just thank the Mass Department of Public Health for supporting this opportunity for Everett teens, and also a extra special thank you to Aisha, Stephanie, and Jean for your work and leadership on this project. And congratulations to all the youth that are presenting tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jamie, for sharing that with us. We would also like to speak about the history of our programming in Everett and our connection to the community. I would like to introduce you to Jean Granick, the program manager of the Health Improvement Team, who will speak about CHA's history and connection with Everett.
Thank you, Aisha. So welcome, everyone. It's good to see you. We have so many people joining us tonight to support our Everett youth. As it's been mentioned, I'm the program manager at Cambridge Health Alliance's Community Health Improvement Department, and I work primarily in the communities of Everett, Revere, and Chelsea. And so we were very fortunate back in 2019 to apply for this grant as a regional approach. So we've been working with the communities of Everett, Somerville, and Malden. And each cycle, we do 2 cycles a year. Each cycle, we've done a different community. So this happens to be Everett's 3rd cycle of doing this grant. And each one has been a little different due to the impact of COVID in our schedules and the school. So this year, the youth did a little bit in person, and that was great. We got to meet people in person, and the other half of the program has been done remotely. So so it's been an interesting process to do it remote, in person and remotely, very different experiences. We're very excited. We're very excited that the youth will be able to share their images and captions here. We will be hearing directly from the youth, as we all know, and they'll share their photographs, and they'll talk a bit about their captions and what they learned in the program. But before we hear from the youth tonight, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Shannon Cassidy and Rebecca Bishop and the rest of the team at the Mass Center for Excellence on Problem Gambling Prevention, as they've provided guidance and technical assistance throughout the year. And in addition, we'd also like to thank the Office of Problem Gambling Services, including the director, Victor Ortiz, for giving our youth this opportunity to have a strong voice in their community. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it back to Aisha because we're all here to hear the youth speak.
Indeed. So thank you, Jean. We want to recognize that in addition to members of Cambridge Health Alliance and our youth, we have several impactful members from the Everett community and beyond present with us today. And we want to thank you all for being here because it wouldn't be the same without our wonderful audience. So next up, Stephanie, a graduate student intern from Boston University School of Social Work, has worked closely with our team and will now talk more specifically about topics the youth discuss within our Photovoice space. And then we will lead right into our youth presentation. We're really grateful to have had her in this space, and she's been co-leading it with myself, and she's just been an incredible part of the conversations. And so just want to extend a huge thank you to her being here today.
Thank you, Aisha. Over the past few months, we've covered a wide range of topics such as health disparities and health equity, youth activism throughout history, problem gambling, and photography. The curriculum encouraged youth to brainstorm and think deeply about broad-based questions, including what kind of risks related to problem gambling are youth exposed to in the community? How does underage gambling influence your ability to identify and take healthy risks? And what does your community need in order to ensure that all youth have opportunities to take healthy risks? With the curriculum as a foundation, the youth participated in discussions about topics they felt passionate about and strived to learn from one another in our space. We were able to see their interest in advocating for mental health, food equity, resource building, and a clean environment. We're enthusiastic that you'll get to see many of these passions through the work the youth are sharing today. In addition to the work youth put into this presentation, parents and caregivers offered continual support throughout the program and attended a special parent-caregiver presentation led by the youth team. We would like to extend a huge thank you to the parents and caregivers for all they've done throughout the process. Many applause for all the parents and caregivers. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to our youth team. Each youth will provide a short introduction, speak about 2 photos they've worked on, and share a takeaway they've had from the experience. We'll have the opportunity for questions at the end of all the presentations, and we'll be sprinkling in some trivia about Everett to invite audience members to join in on the fun. We look forward to sharing with you, and thank you again for being here. To start off, we have Salma.
All right, first up, we have Salma. Thanks, Stephanie.
Hello, my name is Salma Bilkaderi. So I'll just tell you a little bit about my first picture. Walking home after missing the bus. This photo was taken when I was on a trip to go to Target. Me and my sister, we were on the bus, and the bus stop was like in the middle of the highway, which is funny. So we ended up, we missed the bus stop, and then we got off at Wellington. We were waiting there for about 15 minutes, but another bus didn't come, so we just decided to walk. Since it was close enough, it was just over the bridge. We ended up going over the bridge. It was beautiful. There was a lake and the sun, and it was all peaceful and harmonious. In the midst of all this commotion, though, I was still able to find positivity. It reminded me that even if you're in the middle of something that is extremely stressful, you should try to find an upside. Try to look for the pleasant part of life. That mentality can make your day all that much better. On to my next photo, walking home from school. It was Tuesday. Me and my 2 friends were walking home. I was really cold. It was kind of snowy. There was slushy snow on the ground. I couldn't wait to get home, and I was in a rush because I was really sleepy. That day was kind of hectic. But in the midst of that, I saw the sun shining through some clouds. There was snow melting. There were buildings being built, kids laughing, walking home. And it was just a happy scene, so I decided to take a picture. This was a reminder to me that even in gloomy surroundings, your outlook can change the way you view it. Even though I had like a pretty stressful day, I was able to enjoy at least a piece of it. You can control your day, focus on what you can control, and make the best out of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Salma. Next, and then now we have our next youth. Go ahead, Betania.
I haven't been talking? Lord. Okay. My bad. So, hello, my name is Beatty, or Betania. I go by either or, and I go by she, her pronouns. So, here's my first photo that was taken of the growers market. I took this picture remembering an encounter I had 2 summers ago. On my way home from work one day, I noticed a tent and a bunch of girls sitting outside the old high school. I remember one girl standing while the other girl was sitting, talking with others. They had a lot of customers. One girl approached me and asked if I was interested in participating or learning more about the farmers market. I thought it was pretty cool. They had a huge selection of tomatoes and apples and other fruits and veggies. It was basically a local farmers market. And I don't honestly think you see those a lot. I have to go into the city like Boston to see a locals farmers market. And yeah, it honestly felt like they put their hearts into it. I remember seeing a lot of people working there over the spring, from kids to adults, working together to bring the farm alive. It was also pretty to look at. It's a nice addition to Broadway. It's like a whole community of people working together, and it felt like the start of people in Everett making an effort to help the environment. So it's my first photo. Okay, on to the second. So this is the Everett Teen Health Center. The health center is located at the end of the Everett High building. It has become a safe haven for the many Everett High kids, and right outside the center, students can see a large board across the wall, which is the picture. You honestly can't miss it. The board is easy to see for anyone who walks by, and it's really big and allows students like me and my friends to get resources quickly. It also reminds me of the Family Resource Center and how they are able to provide community resources. There was this barcode you could scan if you needed health supplies from the sexual and reproductive health program. So that was one example of the many resources they inform you on and provide. I think the staff at the Teen Health Center work hard to assist Everett High students in any manner that they can. And I believe they have become such a great addition to the community as they actively encourage students like us to help the community as well and give the resources and opportunity to work with them and uplift the Everett community. And those are my photos. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Betty. They were wonderful. And the same with you, Salma. So thank you, Salma and Betty. Now for some trivia fun. Many of the people in this room today have worked, lived, and been in Everett for quite a while now, or they're brand new. So this will be really exciting. Check out if you know the answers to some fun trivia questions about the history of our city. Type what you think the answer is in the chat, and we'll reveal the answer after your guesses. And for the first two questions, Salma is going to be reading them off.
Okay, so for question 1, what's Everett's official motto? A, City of Pride, Progress, and Possibilities. B, Strong Past, Proud Future. Or C, Liberty, a trust to be transmitted through posterity.
Feel free to put what you all think the answers are in the chat. Okay, Diana says A. We also have another one for A. Oh, M says A. All right, all right. Looks like we're getting a lot of love for A. Definitely A. A, Shannon. Kathleen says A. Leah says B. Ooh, switching it up. Okay, Leah. Okay. Awesome. All right. Thank you all. So the answer is, drumroll, and Jamie, our wonderful tech person for the day, will give us the answer. It is A, City of Pride, Progress, and Possibilities. Nice job, all. All right, on to the second question, and Salma will be reading it off again.
Question 2. Which movie was recently filmed in the Old Everett High School in 2016? A, Gremlins. B, Ghostbusters. C, Avengers Endgame. Or D, Boston Living.
Which one do folks think? Ooh, B, B, B. Seeing a lot of love for B. Ooh, someone thinks A. All right. Ghostbusters. A. All right. D, maybe. C. Yeah. Oh, there's so many options. Well, thank you all. So now drum roll again. Our answer is going to be dun dun dun. Ghostbusters. So Ghostbusters was actually filmed in the old Everett High School, which is amazing. And so as many of our youth have mentioned, the Family Resource Center is there now. Everett Growers is located right outside. So it's such a happening place. And around there, there's so much going on. And definitely a really cool fact about our city. So thank you all. And so thank you for our little trivia break. We'll be having 2 more trivia questions coming up, so get excited. And thank you, Salma, for reading them off. But let's head back into our presentations, starting with Karina. Go ahead, Karina.
Hi, my name is Karina Flores. I go by she, her pronouns, and my first photo is mobile gambling. It's I found it like kind of not smart, but like it shows how we're living in the 21st century, how technology is evolving, how now you can even gamble on the phone or even like um submit your lottery ticket or number through the app to win your prizes like your cash and all that. And for me, like a little backstory about the photo was I never really noticed it until now that due to Photo Voice I was like checking it out more. This is a store very nearby where I used to live, where I used to go there very often, like in the summer, like late summer nights, get a slushie, or just hang out there with friends. And I've just seen it evolve, like how how much it how much everything is now evolving. That now with this, a con is like anyone can manipulate their age, manipulate a different user name or like anything that requires the mobile for you to cash in or play honestly. And so I thought that was like a very bad con because no one is watching you, so you don't really feel as bad as if it was in person when you're like face to face with the clerk. Uh, my second photo. This one is a helpline. This one is also in the same store that I was talking about earlier. I first saw this when I walked into the store, and I actually had very mixed feelings about it. I was proud that they're giving out a hotline, like a number. I was proud that they show that they care, but at the same time, I was like, this is a little iffy. They're promoting do this, but like, here are the consequences. But I just thought it was very thoughtful and something that's supported by Dot Lottery that also shows that gambling can become an addiction and can become a problem, not just like to yourself, but to everyone around you. Let it be a concerned parent or a worried child for those who are parents. And these are my 2 photos.
Thank you so much, Karina. Next up, we have Diana. Sorry, my mistake. Next up, we have Crystal, then Diana. So hop on, Crystal. Sorry about that.
Hi, my name is Crystal. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a senior at Everett High. So this is going to be my first photo. It's titled Cigarettes in Everett, and pretty much I was walking home from school, and I noticed a bunch of waste around the rec center. The rec center is often used to be a basketball court where kids would come after school and play there. And it included less cigarettes, some ice cream bins, and some medical masks. My inspiration for this photo is finding trash like cigarette butts all over the floor in Everett. I found trash all over the schools, parks, and the main streets of Everett, and I thought having something like cigarette bins would be really helpful for us to help with waste. Instead, we would have it in one area instead of being spread all over the city. I want Everett to be represented as a clean city, as there are new people coming into the city every day, and if there's trash all over the city, they may not feel welcomed. If Everett implements the cigarette bins, we can reduce the waste of cigarettes and help with the cleanliness of our city. And then on to my next photo. And this is the photo of the casino on the water. As you can see, the casino right in the background right there. It was pretty much, I was walking home from work after a stressful day, and I thought the sky looked really pretty, and I wanted to take a photo of it. The sky looks really nice and the colors stand out. And then since I lived in Everett my whole life, that view hasn't been the same anymore. It's completely changed with the casino coming in, because there are visitors coming just for the casino, and they don't see the same value of community that we have, because their main focus is to go gamble, and they don't have time to see other places that we have here. So I would love people to come and support the local businesses that we have here and visit the parks and shopping places. The streets that in the casino are Broadway and Main Street, so one of the most popular streets in Everett that Everett has for visitors to come see. And then since we are near the train station, we are by transportation, and people are stopping by. Everett to me is home, culture, and community. I would love to share the same experiences with everyone who visits.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Appreciate that and that message. Next up, we have Diana.
Hi, my name is Diana Silva. I go by she, her pronouns, and these are my pictures for Photovoice. So the first picture that I have is the issue of lottery tickets in Everett. That's what it's called. Basically, at the top of my street, there's a convenience store. Every year, I always buy the same snacks, candies. Every year, the same snacks, candies, and lottery tickets are placed behind the cash register. Whenever I walk into the store, the first thing that I see is the lottery tickets because of how the colors are bold, bright, and eye-catching. You can see some of them have like really like shimmery fonts and details to it, and they have like dollar signs, which can be really appealing to the eye. Um, my family has always bought a few and has won and lost a few bucks due to lottery tickets. Um, I have seen people tempted to go back to see if they have a higher chance of winning when gambling is not about chance. It's about pure like luck. Like you can't really like, hack the system or anything like that. I mean, you could, but just because you're so close to one time doesn't mean that your chances are like more higher if you could to win the next time. Um I've heard when I've heard when people scratching the ticket with a coin, it's like an adrenaline rush and it's tempting and it captures your attention, which can unfortunately lead to gambling addiction. And Everett, there are many um, convenience stores, sorry, I can't really see. Oh, okay, very many convenience stores around. It, yeah, it seems like every store has a corner to fill out lottery tickets and Powerball. After school, kids can go to these convenience stores and buy snacks. Gambling is normalized and they can be influenced when they're older. Um, sorry about that. Everett should raise more awareness about gambling addiction and state resources to help. On to the next slide, please. Okay, thank you. This is my second picture, which is called Housing Economy in Everett. In first grade, I moved to Everett because my dad loved the idea of owning a house in Everett, and Everett was a city that had reasonably priced houses back then. Every time I would walk to school, I would always see this white house on the left right there, and right next to it was a clinic where they used to treat and help people. And right next to that clinic, there were local businesses. And the city of Everett decided to replace this this clinic with a construction building for modern housing. And and most people in Everett um most people in Everett will have to pay more for rent and owning a house because the rent of owning a house will go up eventually. And um and many local businesses could go out of business. With connection with construction of new and more expensive apartments, there would be a never-ending cycle of building and pushing the original people out. This could cause a further spiral of gambling because these people may not have enough money. I feel like the city hasn't been the same since the casino because they're trying to make Everett fancier and it's expensive. And I was inspired by this picture because me and my mom had this conversation about gentrification, especially around the local Boston community in East Boston. And East Boston is a very known place for like Latino communities, and there's a Latino grocery store every single corner of the street. I grew up there most of my life. I used to go there all the time to visit my family because, you know, most of my family loves to live there because a bunch of people there speak Spanish and there's a lot of Salvadorians. And and my mom was telling me how she felt upset because they're trying to they're trying to like make more modern apartment buildings and trying to make the cost of living go up, which was one of East Boston's many like perks was that there's cheap rent right there. And not only that, local businesses can go out of business, and it's really important for me as a Salvadorian because you know East Boston is known for these Hispanic communities and stores, and it's really important to my mom as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. And thank you for sharing that personal anecdote as well. So we're going to jump into our second trivia break. So get excited. Karina is going to be reading off the questions for this one, and I hope that all of you have your trivia hats on. So let's jump into our next question. And Karina, you can go ahead and read it whenever you're ready.
Question 3. What city or town was Everett merged with prior to becoming its own town? A. Malden, B. Oxington, C. Lexington, or D. Somerville?
All right, let's see what folks think in the chat. All right, we got to vote for A. Lots of A's. A. All right, D. Ooh, changing it up. Awesome. A. Another vote from Jean. Awesome. All right, let's do our drum roll, and Jamie will present. The answer is Malden. And as many of us know, because right on the border, we border with Malden, and we actually used to be a part of Charlestown, and we also used to be a part of Malden, and then we became our own place. So very, very cool. All right, on to the next one, and Karina will read it for us.
Question 4. Around how many people live in Everett today? A. 40,000, B. 46,000, C. 55,000, D. 60,000.
And this is sort of estimate. So what do y'all think is the answer? C, D, C, A, B. We got a lot of different options. A lot of different options going in. Sorry, my mute button. Yeah, B. All right. Okay, this one's the most mixed one we've had. Very cool. All right, so drumland, we have B, around 46,000. I can't remember the exact amount, but it is very close to 46,000. So appreciate all of you. And Kathleen, you got it on the last round, so we appreciate that response. So thank you all for having fun with us and enjoying the trivia breaks. We're going to launch back into, last but not least, our last two presentations. And we're going to start off with Kien.
Hi, so my name is Kian, and my pronouns are he, him. I'm a junior at Everett High School. So this picture taken from a hill behind Everett High School shows a gloomy day with a clustered neighborhood, and I found a lot of meaning and a lot of symbolism in this image. With the continued spread of COVID and so many people getting sick, cloudy and often dreary environments around us, yet this Everett community stays strong through the people around us, no matter the color of their house or skin. And in my second photo, is the COVID test line. And this is a picture of when I went for COVID-19 testing, and it was so disheartening to see the long line. It was a 2-hour wait, and at first I wasn't even able to see the end. As I was waiting, I realized people were willing to wait in the extremely cold weather to get tested. This warmed my heart and is uplifting because this shows that people still care about COVID and the safety of our community. They got tested to protect the people around them. I hope that we never lose sight of the impact that testing brings.
Thank you so much, Ken. Appreciate it. All right, next up, last but not least, we have Leah.
Hello, my name is Leah, and I took a photo of the Family Resource Center. 1 second, sorry. So I had taken a trip to the Family Resource Center to get a feel of what they do and found that they help the community and surrounding communities. I thought that was amazing. It is usually the government making organizations like this one to help people in need. So to see a person go out of their way to create a center like this is great. Right now it is closed because of COVID, so I took a photo of the outside. I think Everett is a very diverse community with people from many different places who speak many different languages, and this center is made up of a diverse staff. One of the amazing things they do is help senior citizens get on a Zoom for any court hearings they have and could be struggling to use. I think it is a fantastic thing that we have in Everett. Thank you.
And yeah, I'm just going to actually pause for a quick second. Jamie, would you mind if we just reloaded the slides? Because I think there was just a slight change in the caption. We want to make sure folks are able to see it. I think we just have to reload it again and it'll come back. Quick break.
Well, we have this break. I'm Kathy Betts, and I'm the Director of Community Health Improvement. So Jean and Jamie are part of our big team. I just want to say I am so impressed with these presentations, and I'm learning so much. I really think you guys really did a tremendous job, and I'm very happy for all of you and proud of all of you. So thank you for teaching me some new things and showing me around Everett, your city.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. We appreciate you being here. We'll just have a little quick pause with tech, as it usually is with we love the new tech world. As always, we have something that has to be reloaded or something here and there. Thank you, Shannon. Did you have any words you would like to share? More than welcome to have you speak. No worries, Shannon. We'll invite you at the end. We'll have Leah. So this is Leah's, we had a little bit of an update. So this is her slide that we wanted to share. Oh, I think we lost it again. Thank you so much, Jamie. We'll appreciate all your tech help today. My computer itself was having some struggles, so Jamie took over. Very much appreciate it. All right, so this is our next slide for Leah, and we'll pass it off to you, Leah.
Thank you. So this is a photo of the Wellness Center that I took, and the Wellness Center was a place I went to when I was younger. Many people from my school and from my community came here to work out. It was one of the first community gyms in Everett, and the only other place people from Everett could work out, other than Malden, the Malden YMCA. The YMCA was more expensive, while the Wellness Center was a more affordable option for people in Everett. I think it is helpful to stay active and healthy, which is important because our health impacts our everyday life and our mental health. This center is an excellent way for people to go and be active while also being surrounded by their community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leah. What a great way to end us off. So thank you to all the incredible work. If we could please have one virtual round of applause for all their wonderful hard work. Feel free to unmute or just do a virtual one. We're just so happy for all of you and just so incredibly proud of the work you produced. And I think echoing Kathleen's words, I learn from you all the time. And so getting to see your words and what you think about the community is just so rewarding. So I appreciate it. Before we move forward, just wanted to open it up. Do we have any questions or feedback that folks want to share?
I had a question. My name is Ann Auger. I work for the Central Administration for Everett Public Schools. And this may be a really naive question, and everyone else on the call might know the answer, but I'm just curious, how is this opportunity advertised? Like, how did you all hear about this opportunity and enroll?
Yeah, go ahead, Betty.
So I knew about it from last year. I don't remember how, but I'm guessing there was this website, the Everett Public Schools website, and they always showcase programs and stuff through that. And our school, the high school specifically, also had a specific website for the students, and they would like showcase clubs and programs through that too. So yeah, it's basically websites.
Thanks, Betty. Go ahead, Kian.
Microphone issues, but I did photo voice last year as well. But I knew that the program was up again because I did it from last year, and also the amount of like flyers around the school, and you know, getting my friends to join as well, sharing the fun.
Great.
Go ahead, Diana. Thanks, Kian.
For me, it was completely different. I've heard about it from the club called Teens in Everett Against Substance Abuse, which is also TISA. And Jamie was actually talking about it last year. And I thought it was pretty cool at first that I could join, but I decided not to until this year. I decided to take the opportunity because I thought it was really fun and I thought taking pictures would be a nice way to really just focus on my creative side and while doing something good for our community.
Absolutely. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Crystal, did you want to share as well? I saw your hand up.
Yeah, I also had the same reasoning, is that I found out photo was through Jamie because she was the one leading it for, I think it was the first 2 years. So I heard about that, and it was really interesting how they were finding issues in Everett, but they would take photos of it and caption it. So I thought that was a really interesting idea, because normally we would just sit down, talk about it, and then be released and like be on like an article. But taking photos of it was like a really interesting idea to me. And luckily I was able to join this year because I found more flyers of it being, it's gonna be in like the Everett High School library, and I was like, oh, it's just right after school. Let me go to the meeting. I really liked it.
Thanks, Crystal. Go ahead, Jean.
So I can just add that over the last couple of years, so back in 2019, you had events at the school where you could come, club events, like introducing the different after-school programming in different clubs. So we've been doing that for many, many years. And we also share the flyers with the health teachers and other teachers that we have relationships with. And there's the Everett Youth Network meeting, where it's providers who work with youth within the city of Everett. But the best resource is the youth. They tell their friends, and so that's really been the most effective. Youth telling youth.
Definitely agree. It's definitely they're the best, people to spread the word. It's wonderful. Any other folks wanted to share their responses? Karina, I don't know if I saw your hand. No worries if not. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Karina. Yeah.
I was just gonna say I found this through a friend because she's very involved with the school, and I was telling her I want to do something. I want to be out there more. I want to learn more about the community. I just want to grow, I guess, as a student and as the youth, because I know we're in our like prime years where we have a voice, and luckily now we're able to use it and show it, or like be creative with it. And I thought it was a very good idea because, one, I really like photography and I really wanted to be out there. So that's how I learned about it, how I learned about Photo Voice.
Thanks so much, Karina. And did that give you like a good overview of a couple different ways? But maybe a too broad of an overview.
No, that's all, and good for all of you for, the marketing efforts that you do and the participation you get. So, if I can ever help advertise anything in the future, please let me know. This was amazing.
Thank you so much, Anne. Did folks have any other feedback or questions they wanted to share before we move forward? Go ahead, Kathleen.
You know what I thought was interesting? Everybody was talking about how they hadn't seen things before that they now see because they're aware of it. And I always talk about that with people in different ways. We run a WIC program, and I said, you'll see in the vegetable aisle that it'll say WIC approved. And once you know this, you'll never unsee it. You'll always see that. And otherwise, you don't see it, So I think what you really pointed out was how much we miss when we're not looking at things in the same way, and how as you learn about new things, you just see a whole different way of what you're looking at. So I think you guys really nailed it by explaining that so well that you went to this corner store your whole life and you didn't notice, right? That there were lottery tickets, or you didn't notice this or that. And I think that's so human nature, and you are so great at pointing it out. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. That's so, I feel like all of us were learning just through each other's lenses in a way, which is really cool because someone would share and then it would start a conversation as someone share another photo and start a conversation. Did any youth have any sort of feedback on that for whether it sort of opened your eyes to different ways to look at it? You can even just share a yes in the chat if that happened for you. Go ahead, Diana. Oh, yes.
I wanted to say something. I can't find the words. I wanted to say something that I'm going to take away from Photo Voice.
Go ahead, yeah.
Pretty much, what I'm going to take from Photo Voice is building connections with new people. Especially you, Stephanie, Jamie, and Jean. I'd like to thank you, you all for everything, for your kindness, for your friendliness, and for being so patient and understanding. I also want to mention that like taking photos using like the old camera was really nice. It felt really nice just to like use something else to take pictures, It also made me realize that like maybe I could buy a camera this year just to take a bunch of pictures for my senior year. And I also want to dive in more into like photography and art. So Photo Voice helped me realize that. So thank you all.
Thank you, Diana. That's so kind. And I'm so happy that it sort of like opened up that artistic view for you because you were very talented. So I'm very excited to see what else you get. And so for context for folks who may not know, we had the option for folks to sort of, to use like digital cameras, which I know is sort of like, I know I haven't used one in such a long time because we have our phones now. So it is a very different opportunity. And I'm really glad, Diana, that you like that. Salma, go ahead. I see your hand up as well.
Oh, just for the previous kind of statement, wait, I'm blanking. Well, it's gonna come back. I'll raise my hand again.
You're so good. It was about seeing the world differently because now you sort of have like a different, vision of it.
I was gonna say, my photos were very much like an upside of the story. It's also like important to acknowledge like the things we can improve in our community, and these pictures really do help us like look at a different perspective, especially with the captions. Everybody sees things in their own way, and it's important that we like take into account how it's affecting other people. Oh, one thing I learned from Photo Voice this year was that, like I think it's important to think how your audience is gonna see the picture and what they're gonna think about the picture. it's important that you don't come off like as too harsh, but you send a point, you know, like you give your main point. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Alma. Yeah, that's half the thing, right? Of like, how is it going to be perceived? Because we all could see it one way, but someone coming in who doesn't know Everett at all could see it a completely different way. And so that's something we talked about during our curriculum too. So thank you so much for sharing that. Betty, go ahead. Oh, Betty, you may be on mute, my friend.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Right. I was just going to add to what I think Kathleen and Anne said about advertising and not really seeing things. When it comes to like Everett High, everybody knows it's really big, especially even our middle schools and stuff. When it comes to pictures or like posters being on the walls, they're so small compared to our school and the big walls and stuff. And of course, people are going to walk by them. I think what really got me to see like all the programs that I've joined this year was like the websites. Putting everything digital is so much easier. And I think like if you guys really want somebody to join a program, you should like plaster everywhere, like the website to go to, and then like just post everything, like clubs, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, because we need more people, but that's it.
Definitely. Thanks, Betty. That's a really good point, right? We want to get as many perspectives as possible in this program, which is really cool because each of us brought sort of a different vision, a different background, and that was the best part of it for me personally, like being able to learn from everyone. So, really great point, Betty. Any other last comments from either youth or other folks in the audience?
Let's go on to the call to action.
Let's do it. Awesome. All right, folks. Next up, we're going to talk about our call to action. And Betty, do you feel ready to talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go, Betty.
Okay. On to our call to action. As part of the Photo Voice program, one of our goals was to create a call to action as a way to invite our community to create impact in an area that we are passionate about. We recognize the need for supporting youth mental health and wellness. Our group talked a lot about what does mental health and wellness look like from a community health lens. This led us to a special event that is youth-driven in partnership with Cambridge Health Alliance and the Elliott Family Resource Center. Tonight, we announced Celebrate Youth. This special event will take place during February vacation on Wednesday, February 23rd from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. at the Family Resource Center. There will be resources and information to support teen mental health and wellness, self-care support strategies, and a resource fair highlighting different community resources for teens in 8th to 12th grade. There will be all sorts of great giveaways, and it will be a fun way to celebrate the awesome teens in our community. We want to make sure teens know that they are supported, appreciated, and recognized as leaders in our community. Pre-registration is required in order to ensure we are following COVID protocols, and masks are required. We will drop the link to register in the chat. Please join us for this exciting event. More information will be coming out by email and social media later this week. See you there. Thanks.
Exciting. We hope to see all of you there, and please pass it along to any youth you know, especially within the grades of 8th to 12th grade. We're really aiming for this to be a fun event for youth to be able to walk in, get a lot of free swag, as we like to say, and also just learn about the places in their community that are there to support them, because there's just been a lot going on, as all of us know, for the past couple years, and we just want them to know that this community is there to support and help them. And I'm going to actually pass this to Jamie if there's any sort of last things you would like to add, or she sort of was really integral in sort of helping to get this going, and so would love to pass it to her to see if there's anything last things I forgot.
No, we're working to finalize all the resource tables and whatnot, and then but this flyer is unveiled tonight, finished seconds before the event. And registration and all of that stuff for youth will be getting out to everybody, but it's really been youth driven, and so as much as youth will be helping run the event, we want them to understand this is also really for them just as much. And so we'll have Photo Voice youth leading some of the different volunteer roles and booths, and I don't know, maybe we'll have a photo booth. But this is really to just celebrate, have something fun during vacation, and just walk away with some new tools and resources. And I think we'll make sure that the organizations that you all profiled in your photos are all present if they can be there. But we'll make sure to invite them and let them know as well. So I can't wait.
Amazing. Yes, it's going to be really great. So mark your calendars, put it in. It's during Feb vacation week. And please feel free to reach out to myself or Jamie or Jean with any questions. And my email is on the flyer as well. Registration is very important. This is correct, Jean, just because we want to make sure with COVID, we're being, cautious and make sure that we have, we know who's entering the space and that masks are present and such. So please make sure you pre-register if you are planning to attend or the youth in your life are planning to attend. Thank you so much. All right, on to our next slide, which Kian is going to speak a little bit more about. Go ahead, Kian.
We all have talked about a lot of big topics today and want to ensure our audience knows resources are available today in our community to support. Here are a few listed on the slide.
So we're just going to pause here for a second, just so folks, if you want to sort of copy these down, we're also happy to send, especially this slide out with like a follow-up email, and feel free to reach out with any questions about it as well. Awesome. I think we're good to move forward. So last but not least, some takeaways. Look forward to, we're going to be compiling all these photos and incredible captions you saw into a zine, which is sort of like a mini magazine that not only the youth can take home, but it'll be open for distribution. So just look out for that. We'll be in touch about where you can get those and where you can have your very own copy so you can take these home and refer to them whenever you would like. And then, of course, join us to celebrate youth, as the wonderful pun says. And it's going to be Wednesday of February vacation week, and more information will be released this week. So we're very much looking forward to these next steps. And a few special thank yous before we close out for the night. We want to say a huge thank you to the Massachusetts Department of Health's Office of Problem Gambling to sort of provide funding and create this incredible program. The Education Development Center, which includes Shannon Cassidy, who's here today, and Rebecca Bishop. Our entire Photovoice team, CHA's Community Health Improvement Department, and Kathleen is here representing CHA for us as well. Everett Public Schools, which we have Anne who's representing us as well from there. And of course, all the youth families who are present. And even though many of them were not able to make it tonight, they have just been such an incredible source of support for the youth. And the majority of them were able to attend our parent and caregiver event, which was wonderful. And we just saw how much support they offered the youth. So just a huge thank you to everyone in this space. And before we move forward, I know Shannon, you didn't get a chance to speak, so I want to offer that opportunity if you were able to get your the little microphone to work. No pressure if not.
Is it working? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, super. Hi everyone, my name is Shannon Cassidy. I'm a training and technical assistance specialist with the Massachusetts Center of Excellence, focused on problem gambling prevention, which is out of Education Development Center. I'm sorry, that was a mouthful. But I just wanted to say, well done to everyone. This presentation was fantastic. Your captions were so thorough and thoughtful, and it shows how much time you guys took to take your photos and really reflect on it, and it's very impressive. It's well done again. I'm very excited for your event during February vacation. That sounds like a blast, and I can't wait to see how it goes. So thank you again. Well done, everybody.
Thanks so much, Shannon. Shannon has been sort of our touch base point person to sort of support through the EDC department, and we're just very thankful for her support through this process. So thank you. But yeah, so that's our thank yous, and we will move forward to our closeout. So thank you to the youth for not only creating incredible pieces of art, but also inviting the community to join us for a bigger conversation. And thank you for our audience for showing us and supporting our youth today. Prior to closing out, I want to offer space for any individuals who want to share anything or have any questions, but we're really looking forward to February break and celebrating youth. Extending a huge thank you to Jean and Jamie for supporting along along the way, Stephanie for co-leading with myself and the youth for all their hard work. Please feel free to reach out to Jean or myself with any further questions, and we're wishing you a wonderful night ahead, and are just very grateful that all of you came today. And youth, I'm just going to have you stay on for a little bit longer after, but we just are very grateful for all of you for being here today. So thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks.
Bye. Have a wonderful
See you
evening.
later.
Bye all.